What is ham radio? With me, Jim Heath, W6LG, and Diane Cox, Sean Billy Williams, ZS1SBW, Paul Hirschman, W4PMH, Mark Flaherty, W1MBF, Rod Hardman, VA30N, Vince Dion, VE6LK, Dan Sisson, N4GNR, Dr. Frank Howell, K4FMH. Hi, I'm Jim Heath, W6LG, your ham radio Elmer Online. Welcome to my radio room here in Rockland, California. I've been a ham radio operator for about 60 years now, and I've often been asked the question, what is ham radio? What does that mean? Where did it get that name? Well, first of all, ham radio kind of came out of the days when there was just telegraphy. And at that time, there were landlines between cities, could be telegraph lines or railroad lines, could be for Western Union, any number of things. And a poor operator was called ham-handed or ham-fisted. And that carried on to the early code operators on radio before there was even licensing. And then it sort of had a resurgence in the 1920s to describe one who wasn't very skilled at sending Morse code via radio. And that's stuck for the last 100 years. So it was originally somebody who wasn't very good at sending Morse code, and then later on it became a way to describe somebody who was sending radio waves. I've asked a group of folks around the world for their definition of ham radio. What does it mean to you? And they responded with audio recordings, and I've included them at the end of this introduction, so I'm going to play them next. And again, what I was asking them was, what does ham radio mean to you? What is it? What does it involve? So here are the answers that I got, and listen to them carefully because they're really interesting, and it's a wide range of views and opinions and answers, all of them great. So here we go. What is ham radio? What does it mean to you? From several folks around the world.
Hello, this is Diane Cox speaking to W6LG, Jim Heath. Hello, Jim. I am sharing thoughts with you today about my dearly beloved partner, Sean Billy Williams, ZS1SBW. What is it like for someone like me having a partner who is a super great enthusiast of the amateur radio world? It's lovely to see him stimulated not only technically by the actual building of antennas and trying to always improve on transmitting and receiving radio signals, but it's also a lovely thing to see him make friends and connections all around the world, and for him to be stimulated by conversation and to hear him laugh and have good fun and really make some very good quality friendships over the years that he has been doing it. It is a labour of love, and the mistress in the shack, as I call her, can be quite demanding at times. However, she does make him feel great, and he comes out of the shack with smiles on his face, and he's got ideas, and he's laughing. So it's a wonderful thing to see, and I am very, very grateful that he's found something to do that is so wholesome and good for the mind, body, and spirit.
Whiskey 6 Lima Golf, ZS1SBW. Greetings, Jim. What is amateur radio to me? It is more than a hobby. It's a lifestyle. I call it my brain reset. It's the place I go away from daily responsibility, daily life, via the skywave, to friendship, ideas, sharing, and knowledge.
My name is Paul, W4PMH in Southern Florida. My definition of ham radio is that it is magical. I speak into a mic connected to a black box, and some force departs my antenna, bounces off a reflective surface I can't see, and bounces back to Earth a few times. That's magical. A person who I would never know in some country I'll never see hears me and responds. That's magical. Sometimes it's a brief interaction, and other times a friendship is formed and we remember each other. This friendship is truly magical. I first got this awareness in high school listening to my Hallicrafters SX99, which I still have. During this pandemic, ham radio has been a wonderful activity. I waited over half a century between listening and getting my license, only about a year before the pandemic started. No magic there, just dumb luck. I will always be grateful for the hobby of ham radio, the hams who have helped me get started, and companionship it has provided during the recent trying times.
Hello, my name is Mark. My call sign, W1MBF. My location, Newport, Rhode Island. My definition of ham radio would be mystery and education and camaraderie and the feeling of community. It's amazing every time you turn that radio on, it's something different. You can help the community get a message out. You can help folks get more involved or introduce them to ham radio. There's lots of different aspects of ham radio, and that's what keeps me involved and excited and enthusiastic about it. So that's my definition of ham radio.
Hi, it's Rod Hartman, VA3ON, and in the US known as KE6ON. From my home in Oakville, Ontario, Canada, I help produce the Ham Radio Workbench podcast and the Cycle 25 Hub Not Club of radio amateurs. You can find those recordings on YouTube. To me, ham radio is an expression of lifelong learning in a community that investigates the art, science, and mystery of radio electronics. If you're lucky, you find a worldwide community that learns and shares and challenges each other across a wide domain of topics, and those topics keep renewing themselves. Amateur radio is my community because it's made up of individuals that share the sense of wonder that I get that radio propagation even works at all, and my joy and my sense of accomplishment when I complete a project, big or small. Sure, you can find experts that know a lot more about the science of radio, but you won't find people that are more passionate about radio science than in the amateur radio community.
Hello, I'm Dan Sisson, N4GNR of Toccoa, Georgia. What is ham radio? Ham radio is a never-dying hobby that is still magic to me, as it was from day one some 44 years ago. The magic of speaking to different countries and different cultures every day. The magic of the great friends and friendships I speak to every day from all over the world. Knowing you have great friends such as this is priceless. Being of service to the ham radio community is a very small payment to our great hobby, and I am forever indebted to it. All are friends, some I have just not met yet. 73's N4GNR.
Hi, I'm Vince Dion, VE6LK, and in the USA, AI7LK. I'm from Okotoks, Alberta, Canada. I'm a member of the Ham Radio Workbench podcast team, the Cycle 25 Hub Not Club on YouTube, and I delivered the very first remote ham radio exam in Canada. By day, I'm an IT project manager that ensures computing infrastructure is supportable for my employer. By night, I'm a ham radio operator. You can read about my radio pursuits at ve6lk.com. What is ham radio? It's a lifelong hobby of 1,000 hobbies. It allows you to experiment with the magic and the science behind radio, the cornerstone of so many things that are part of our everyday lives. Microwave? Yep, we do that. Laser? That too. AM and FM? Sure. Why do we do it? To chase that sense of wonderment, to hear another's voice on the other end, and to make some lifelong friends that share our pursuits and interests. We do it to assist others in times of need. It's all of this and so much more. Can you do it? Yes, you can. I had the honor to witness people from 8 to 88 years of age enter the hobby, and I hope to see you do the same. As we say in ham radio, 73, and hope to see you again soon.
Frank, K4FMH, Fox Mike Hotel in Ridgeland, Mississippi. Ham radio to me is a hobby, not a lifestyle, although it can become one. I waited 50 years from age 8 to 58 to get my license, but went into broadcasting during college, and by age 20 I had built an FM and an AM station with somebody else's money. I served as news director and Associated Press bureau chief before heading off to get a PhD by age 26. That led to a long career as a college professor where I consistently used technology in my research and teaching. But I never stopped listening to the shortwaves, the ham bands, or the AM broadcasters. It was magic for me at age 8 to touch an AM transistor radio that had a broken whip antenna with my finger and have the signals change. How did that happen? When I built a crystal radio with an old razor blade and Litz wire at a friend's house, it was another magic, life-changing moment. I've never lost the love of radio propagation, how circuits work, or learning more about it. Spreading the knowledge and learning from others, whether it's from the workbench, the shack, the portable op, or meeting with other hams, and talking about what I've learned through my K4FMH.com blog, the ICQ podcast, and sometimes writing for amateur radio publications is my retirement pursuit. But I also serve others through other venues besides ham radio, and that keeps me balanced, just like the amateur radio code suggests. It's just a hobby, but it's a wonderful pursuit.